Alright, Gator here with the Shadowy Tavern, and I was lucky and fortunate enough to run into the guy who invented these TAINS. It's for terrain building and general gaming, and I am checking these out and seeing what I think about them. So there's the QR code and all that stuff for him, and I appreciate that. And this is the first thing I would use this for is I created this beholder scene. I plan on using it in a game at some point, and I'm using the holder to hold a sign. It wouldn't be my card, it would be a message that involved the storyline in the card. I haven't used it yet, so I haven't quite planned all that out, and I built that over the last month. I'm happy with it, but I think pretty much any game that involves cards, these things could be really useful for. If you wanted to have it could be this enemy or another type of enemy, and you can decide how many and on the spot, and trying to switch it up and make it kind of dynamic. I cut out a guy from the Magic the Gathering. I know that's kind of RPG blasphemy to destroy things, but lots of people do the paper minis, and if you wanted to use these as a base, that would be really good for that, actually. And I had another idea. You could take this and sit it sideways, and I found this gun from a dollar store toy, and I glued an acrylic rod in it, and you can put that right there, and it will, if you get it in there right, it will hold. And I figured it could be like a turret or a flamethrower. I'll see it as a flamethrower. And what you could do is it has a radius cone effect. You could just spin it every turn to see which tiles were being affected at that time. I also created this little train scene. It's supposed to be like an underground black market in my homebrew world. That's a kind of large miniature, but I didn't have any sitting out here, but I decided to make this into like a vehicle. So the train would pull up, and it looks like that on the side, but you would point that, and when you flip it around, it shows you what the inside looks like. And I printed it on my own cardstock, so I put little pieces of tape here to help it slide around and to not need to be readjusted so many times. I also figured I was going to make like a vehicle like this, and it would just have like the four wheels represented, and you could do like squares, and it would just be like a physical representation of all the characters in the carriage or whatever together. I've got some more ideas for this stuff that I'm going to be trying out. I've got a Dungeons and Dragons board game that I still need to play, and I feel like these would be really good for that. Well, thanks for checking it out, and if you think that this is interesting, you should definitely pick up some.